Normally, when it comes to new Pokemon cards, I hold off until the full set is revealed before making wild claims like I'm flirting with a girl on Tinder and tell her I can bench press 500 pounds with my feet. But unless that same girl cut off the circulation to my brain when she squeezed my head between her thighs last night, I feel like Ethan's Magcargo has the potential to be a tier 1 deck. As a word of warning, don't start planning around this card quite yet. Pokebeach is speculating that all of Ethan's cards will be included in our May English set, which is expected on May 29th in TCG Live. So everything I'm talking about here is over 100 days away. We still have Rotation and Journey together on March 27th, which will represent a seismic shift to Standard. I mean, that May set doesn't even have a name yet and probably won't get one until next month. Anyways, Ethan's Magcargo. The first few cards from Japan's Heatwave Arena, which is out on March 14th, were recently revealed. One of the 4 trainers featured in the set is Ethan, who, if you didn't know, was the male lead in Gold and Silver. Naturally, his team focuses on Johtonian Pokemon, including Magcargo and Ho-Oh EX. For 3 Fire Energy, Magcargo does 70 damage for each energy discarded from it, up to 5. So put 5 energy on Magcargo, discard 5 energy, deal 350 damage. It's basically a single prize Stage 1 Raging Bolt EX. But getting 5 energy on a Pokemon is no easy feat. That's where Ho-Oh EX comes in. Its ability allows you to attach up to 2 Fire Energy from your hand to one of your benched Ethan's Pokemon. And you can use Gold and Flame once per Ho-Oh EX you have in play. So with just 2 Ho-Oh down and a manual attachment, you can get Magcargo fully powered up. And as an added bonus, Magcargo's ability does give it free retreat, so you can use one as a pivot for another. Now, what's the potential downside? Well, for starters, Ethan chose Cyndaquil. Get it? For starters? Never mind, there's a couple, but the Cyndaquil line does help alleviate them a bit. Because Slugma has 80 hit points, it can't be grabbed with Buddy Poffin. You could make Precious Trolley your ace-spec of choice, which isn't a bad idea, but if not, there is Ethan's Adventure. And best of all, Ethan's Twilava can go grab it. By playing Ethan's Adventure, you search your deck for up to 3 in combination of Ethan's Pokemon and Fire Energy. While it's a good card, I'm kinda low on it. It's your supporter for turn, meaning that while yes, grabbing 3 Pokemon is helpful, you're preventing yourself from using better supporters like Research and Iono. So if you're thinking about playing Magcargo, Ethan's Adventure might not be the best choice. That being said, Typhlosion pairs perfectly with Ethan's Adventure. If you have 4 Ethan's Adventure in the discard pile, Typhlosion does 280 damage for a single energy. Use Twilava's ability or Brilliant Blender and getting those in the bin isn't difficult. Unfortunately, even though there is built-in consistency and this will absolutely be a deck, Crabominable kinda already does the same thing. While prizing supporters doesn't hurt Typhlosion as much as Crabominable, the Crabman has Veluza as a great early game attacker. So it can do some things early with Vuvuzela, all while easily prepping a Crab for turn 2. Plus, Crabominable can hit harder. Since you don't have to worry about Rare Candy and the extra space a Stage 2 line needs, you can pair it with Brute Bonnet and Binding Mochi. So while yes, Typhlosion is strong, it's not making my feet wet as much as Crabominable or Magcargo. I'll hold off showing a full Magcargo list because it's way too early, but I imagine it will borrow elements from Golden Go and Raging Bolt, 2 other decks that discard a lot of energy and need to recover it. Earthen Vessel gets the energy out of the deck for Ho-Oh, and Superior Energy Retrieval is your energy recovery once they're discarded. And Precious Trolley should be the ace-spec because Slugma is way too thick. As far as Pokemon-based draw, it's tough to choose. Bench space will definitely be at a premium here since you'll almost always want at least 2 Magcargo and 2 Ho-Oh in play at a time. The Dunsparce draws you 3 cards and opens up bench spots, but it does require constant maintenance like my third ex-wife. Otherwise, Revavroom is great. You do have to discard a Fire Energy from hand to activate its ability, drawing you up to 6, but with 4 Superior Energy Retrieval and a couple Super Rod, you should be able to get by. But who needs Magcargo or Typhlosion? Armarouge gets infinitely better thanks to Ethan's Ho-Oh. Because Ho-Oh can accelerate the energy to itself, you can put anywhere from 2 to 8 Fire Energy into play every single turn, then move it around with Armarouge. While Ho-Oh's attack isn't bad, dealing 160 and healing 50 from each of your Pokemon, it's mostly there to activate other attackers. And the best one is going to be Torkoal. Okay, maybe not best, but definitely most fun. If you need to take a massive KO, load this thing up with 10 energy, flip 10 coins, and deal 80 damage because PTCGL hates you. For the boring people watching this, yes, there's plenty of other good attackers besides Torkoal. After doing 10 seconds of research, I came up with using Ursaluna EX much earlier than normal. Gouging Fire EX to deal 260 damage easily, and Regigigas to punish Pterodex. Armarouge has always been a thing thanks to Arceus V-Star, but with Ho-Oh it gets even better. And don't even get me started on how you can play alternate attackers like Iron Hands and Cornerstone Masked Ogerpon by simply chucking in a Luminous Energy or two. Oh, and because I haven't whacked off nearly enough this video, don't forget that Charcadet can also evolve into Ceruledge EX. Depending on how many energy you put in your Armarouge deck, Ceruledge could be an amazing late game attacker. I'll talk plenty more about our May English set as additional cards are revealed from Japan over the next few weeks. For now, expect the other trainers in that set to be Steven, Marnie, Misty, Cynthia, and Arven. Misty's going to need a lot more Pokemon to make Gyarados viable. If she does, it could absolutely be a thing. For a single energy, you discard the top 7 cards of your deck and deal 70 damage for each Misty's Pokemon you discard. The partners aren't there right now, so cross your toes that the Pokemon Company doesn't screw this up. One card that'll definitely help is the reprint of Sacred Ash. First released in the XY era, Sacred Ash is Rescue Stretcher on steroids, shuffling up to 5 Pokemon from your discard pile into your deck. It essentially removes the need for Miriam existing and makes Super Rod only useful in decks that need to recycle energy as well as Pokemon. Elsewhere, there's Steven and Marnie, who are each getting their own decks in Japan on the 21st of this month. Steven is kind of the opposite of Hop, with his Stadium reducing the damage his Pokemon receive by 30, and Carbink doing the same thing. Metagross EX, meanwhile, is looking strong. It's able to accelerate 1 each of Psychic and Metal energy from your deck to your Psychic and Metal Pokemon however you want. And as an added bonus, we're getting an Energy Recycler reprint. So Super Rod will lose some playability come May because of both Sacred Ash and Energy Recycler. As for Marnie, don't get too excited. While Grimmsnarl has a great ability, accelerating 5 Darkness Energy to her Pokemon upon evolution, the only partner we know about is Morpeko. Even if you put all 5 energy on Morpeko, it's only doing 220 damage. Spikemouth Gym helps find her Pokemon, but unless there's some other busted cards coming for Marnie, it seems like a miss. Expect a larger preview of our May set in early March once we know every card in Japan's Heatwave Arena. Until then, let me know if you think I'm right about Magcargo being a Stage 1 Raging Bolt, or if I should open the window next time I paint my stream room.